Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I manage the AFC Wimbledon Wombley Womblys, who are 10 points clear of Chesterfield in League Two. It's been a dominant season for the AFC Wimbledon Wombley Womblys, as Bald John Green and other John Green have joined the likes of Yabamba, Buckminster Fuller, some more, less more, lots of, you got back in the back, we got Seb Brown, who saved 2 penalties against Luton Town to send us into the league. It's just been an amazing season as all of these men and Lizzie Bennett have come together, men and women, gay and straight, to serve their club together. It's been wonderful. We're coming now into the second half of the season. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud of everybody and the way that they've played. Oh my goodness! It was almost a beautiful goal right to start. But there's also been some controversy in the world of AFC Wimbledon land recently, as well. I mean, one of the things about being part of a football club is that you're going to have to embrace diversity, and I don't just mean diversity when it comes to your sexual orientation or your gender identity or race or economics or anything like that. I mean that you're going to also have to embrace diversity of worldview. And this has been a challenge lately for the AFC Wimbledon Wombley Womblys because Yabamba hooked up with a person that some more had previously had a relationship with. And Yabamba felt that it wasn't that big of a deal because, to quote him directly, Samore has hooked up with lots of people, and if I were going to, I want to make sure that I don't misquote him here, if I were going to date only people that Samore hasn't hooked up with, I would have to leave the town of Wimbledon. That upset Samore, but because he only speaks in single-word answers, he answered kind of primarily via his fist. And then we kind of had sort of a come-to-Jesus moment in the AFC Wimbledon Wombley Wombly locker room after a game in which I said, listen, we need to have a talk about this, about A, not judging each other, and B, this whole idea that if you have been in a relationship with someone that you are no longer in a relationship with, that person somehow like belongs to you for all of time. It is a ridiculous notion that I think is born of the patriarchy, born of this belief that somehow having a romantic relationship with a woman means that a man has this woman as his property, and that even if that relationship ends, that property relationship doesn't. And it's just ridiculous. And I told Samore that he had to get over himself. And eventually he said, okay, which, for him is almost 2 words if you think of it as O space K. So I was happy with that, but he was obviously a little frustrated. Anyway, it all led to a conversation about casual sex and the role of casual sex in among the Wombley Womblys, but then more important, also among the larger community. I am an old fuddy-duddy. Like Bald John Green and other John Green, and, like the 2 of them, I am in this extremely monogamous relationship and quite happy to have it monogamous, and I have no fond memories of my days of dating. I wasn't very good at dating, and, that was that. But the idea that, like, it's inherently wrong to have sex with someone simply because you haven't said I love you yet, or you aren't married, is just not, it's not an idea that we as a football club are going to put forward, because there are lots of ways to live your life, and it's not, oh, that would have been a great cross if only we had someone on the end of it. It's not my job to judge the actions of others. I can only say what makes me comfortable, and if 2 grown-ups are consenting to something, then I think that's fine. And I think sexuality is a big part of being a person. And when we deny that or try to control it or try to treat it like it's weird or sick or perverted or whatever, it really does kind of bug me. I get asked a lot about my novel The Fault in Our Stars, why characters in that book have sex. I'm going to try to say this without spoilers. Come on. Oh, it had to be, but it isn't. Anyway, I get asked a lot why the characters in that book. Oh, it has to be, and it finally is. Oh, it's Porter. It's Porter. I don't even have a song for him. Does he have a name? Does he have a name? Frankenporter? What's his name? Porterhouse? We got to work on that, guys. G. Porter. He needs a name. Is he the reporter? Is he the, I don't know. Work on it. But obviously he's going to be scoring a lot of goals in the future. That's how I feel anyway. How was that possibly offside? Why did you ask for the ball if you were offside, ball John Green? I feel like his spatial intelligence isn't what it used to be. Anyway, yeah, I get asked a lot why these two characters in the book have sex when they haven't had a lot of physical interaction in the past, and like they haven't been together that long, and they haven't said "I love you" and like blah 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 blah. And I guess like here's my answer. I don't believe in the idea, and listen, all of this is offered with the reality and the understanding that I might be wrong, but I don't believe in the idea that it's somehow that it's somehow inherently sinful to have sex unless you have like signed a marriage contract, particularly given that many people living around the world today who are in committed relationships and wish to be in marriages literally cannot be in them because of the way that marriage is constructed as a legal idea. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me that like that's how we're going to define this like narrow legal definition of marriage is how we're going to define sexuality, because, well, for a lot of reasons, like, does that mean that there's something like, for instance, it's perfectly morally allowable to have sex with your spouse if you aren't in love, or I mean, if there's can you have. Yeah, anyway, it's just there's all kinds of like having that as the definition of like a successful sexual relationship being the only definition being one that occurs inside the confines of this legal construct that has only existed for a few hundred years. It delegitimizes the sexual lives of like everyone who lived before the age of legal marriages being legal contracts, which it's like 600 years old. It says that like almost all human beings didn't have like had sinful sex lives, and I don't buy that. B, I think there are lots of ways to be sexual that are not considered sex by the like culture that would like establish and worship virginity. And I think that like I don't know. I think that all of that's legitimate. I think that you have to find what makes sense for you and for your partner, and as long as it's about the two of you and not about, oh my God, that was a terrible shot. That was an embarrassment. As long as it's about the two of you and your comfort and your, like what you like to share privately with each other, I just don't have an issue with it at all. So anyway, we had this big conversation about it in the locker room because, there are some people, including Ball John Green and other John Green, who are actually quite, real big defenders of marriage and of like a certain like kind of committed sexuality and kind of against casual sex. And I think that's fine. Like that was the point I was trying to make. Like we have diversity within our support group, within the people who support the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys, and we're going to have diversity among the players. Oh God, panic! Everything worked out better than expected. Now would be a time to use the X button, but instead I'm not going to. I'm going to go to Yabamba. Then Yabamba, oh, it's a great pass. It's a great pass. It's a great pass. Go to your husband. Show him how much you love him. Yo, God. You see, sometimes commitment doesn't work, Meredith. Sometimes you need more casual relationships. Meredith just said I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I just think, like, you're going to have to live with diversity in your life, and there are going to be people who do, who like have sex lives that aren't the sex life that you would choose, and that it really doesn't shape your sex life. Like I know that because I've been on many sides of that coin. As long as it's not the person that you're in a relationship with that you can't come to agreement on about how sexuality should be, I just don't see. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't get the obsession with sexual mores. I don't think that I think that like I understand why we're obsessed with sex, and I guess I understand some of why everybody, I think almost everybody I've ever known anyway, if I've known deeply, like feels a lot of like shame and guilt around their sexuality. Like I guess I get that. It's a private thing. You know, there are facets of it that feel taboo and everything, but it's not. But it's yours, and there's nothing particularly shameful about it. And I actually think that's one of the good things that's come out of the age of the internet, is that people have felt whatever the nature of their sexuality, have felt less alone and less kind of like afraid and ashamed of it, which I think has been a very positive development for a lot of people. Like I think that that feeling of shame and aloneness is Ball John Green hurt? Oh, sweet holy Jesus. Please, God, don't be hurt. Please, God, don't be hurt. Please. He was just getting up slow. I'm going to take him out just in case. No, I got to take out Yabamba. Yabamba. Just got substituted. Yabamba. He got substituted. I don't really even know the melody that well. I'm just not a great. I'm not a great celebrator. So yeah, I just don't. Paul John Green just doesn't look himself suddenly. I am a little worried about him. Anyway, I get it, but I'm really glad, because I think it's good. It's really important to understand, why did other John Green did you see what happened? He just ran into the stands. I love you, Seb Brown. I love you. Thank you for getting us into the league. Yabamba, don't be upset. You've had a nice game. You're just tired. I can tell you're tired. We're bringing on Mr. St. Luce. What is St. Lucy the patron saint of? Because maybe we'll name St. Luce after whatever St. Lucy's the patron saint of. So that's the I think it's that ability to embrace, and hopefully I think the internet, one of the downsides of the internet is that it's been a place that has struggled to embrace diversity in a lot of ways, and struggled to build big tents. You know, it's been a place where like you can so easily find a community of people who already agree with you, and who share your worldview on a variety of topics, that like you know, you don't have to build bridges between communities the way that maybe you have to in real life, because real life communities are just like physically smaller. So that's been maybe one of the challenges, and I think that is also a challenge. Like that's one of the challenges that Nerdfighteria tries to take on, is we try to be a big tent. And I also, I mean, frankly, it's one of the things I love about football communities. Like there are a lot of things that like there are, you know, Christian Liverpool supporters and Jewish Liverpool supporters and atheists and Muslims and Sikh Liverpool supporters, and you know, and that that diversity is something that you don't see much in communities these days. And so I really he was offside. Awesome. That's something I really value about football. At least it has the potential to give us a kind of big tent where we can have those discussions within supporter communities. Oh, that was a great move from other John Green. Oh, but he can't act on it. It's so often been a problem for other John Green. He can't get that. It's that last touch that we've struggled with. Context is everything. I hope you have a great last touch. Thanks for watching. Best wishes.